Welcome in the Pesky Pole YouTube channel, and we're doing a little 1985 football using second and 10 football. And I always go back to this game. I played action PC football, and I just like second and 10. I like the fact, one, it's very cost effective. If you buy the game, you get all the pro seasons, you get a bunch of college seasons. You do have to pay for the newer college seasons, though. It's like $10 a season, though. So really cost effective. So we're going back to 1985, and we're going to play that season. And how I do second and 10 is I'm kind of the CEO coach. I pick one team out usually. I'm the CEO coach. What I mean by that is I have the artificial intelligence play the offense and defense for me. And you go, well, that's not really coaching, but what I do is, depending on how the game's going, I make, step in and take over the reins of the coaching on certain things. Kind of like how a CEO head coach would do with two great coordinators. So say, for example, if I feel we're not running the ball enough, kind of like you're sitting back home on your couch and you feel you're not running the ball enough, I may go ahead and take over for a series and establish the run. If we get a big turnover sometimes, I'm kind of the old Steve Spurrier mindset. After a big turnover, I like kind of going in a little play action, going up top, trying to get a big play and kind of cut their hearts out. And so I do that sometimes. Of course, if it's a play where I want to go for it on fourth down, or kick a field goal, or punt, or run the clock out, or do something that I'm not confident that my computer coaches will do, I step in. And if the game's going really well, I just sit back and enjoy the win that way. So I'm playing 1985. Of course, with the cool thing about 85, I think it's a really great football season in terms of the AFC and the NFC. The AFC East is really great with the Jets and the Patriots, and you've got the Dolphins with peak Marino after the Super Bowl run. The only team that stinks there is the Bills. I think the NFC East is pretty good. The Cowboys, kind of their last stand of being good before they fall off the cliff. The Giants are kind of up and coming. The Eagles with some talent there, and of course the Redskins are always tough. And of course the Bears are kind of the main story. And so I'm taking over the 49ers, and let me go and fire this up here. I'm taking over the 49ers, and let me kind of go over here and look real quick at things, but the one thing is the cool thing about it is I like kind of coaching teams that did not win it all in that given year, but could win it all in a replay format. So the 49ers were 10-6 that year, lost in the playoffs. Of course, they've got Joe Montana, rookie Jerry Rice, Roger Craig, a very good team. And I want to see if I can maybe overtake the Bears. So that's what we did. So I played the 49er game already, and this shocked me. Now, I feel kind of bad about this because people who have not played this game before are going to look at the score and think, man, that's really unrealistic. And I promise you that this is not the norm. So I played the Niners at the Vikings. Okay? And here's the score. 62-14. I've played this game a ton, and I have never witnessed an NFL team scoring more than 45 points, I believe is the most I've ever seen. Now, granted, most seasons I play are the seasons from my childhood, the 80s and the 90s, early 2000s, okay? So I'm sure if I played, 2015 through 2019, I would probably get more scores because, the league's got more scoring now. But this is unreal. And so I played this game. I called one play during this game, okay? One play during this game, and that was we had a turnover. We caused a turnover, and I wanted to go up top to Jerry Rice, and of course the play didn't work. Actually, Montana got flushed out of the pocket and had to kind of scramble and get a few yards. But everything clicked for the Niners in this game. Montana was 25 for 36 for 379, 5 touchdowns. And look, the Niners can do this. I mean, in '88, I think, or '89 it was against the Broncos. They totally destroyed them in the Super Bowl. I mean, so it's realistic, I guess. But really kind of an aberration. And we're gonna go through the whole week one. And I think you'll see. Now I say this, and I'm gonna simulate these games and see a bunch of games like this. But I promise you, this is a really realistic game, which is why I like it. I really look for realism, and if a game's unrealistic, it kind of turns me off. And so this is one of those games that the Niners were clicking. Roger Craig is just a beast. 12 catches for 225. Jerry Rice only had one catch for 38 yards there. And Jerry Rice is young Rice, not quite in his prime. Wendell Tyler, the big day. But Tommy Kramer had a tough day, 20 of 40, 3 picks, and really turnovers can kind of turn things around. And I stopped actually playing this game after the third quarter. It was 41-7, I believe, after 3. And so I play the games to help my team win, help the Niners win. And so at that point the game was over. And so listen, I got limited time. I'm in terms of the games when I play. So I went ahead and auto played the fourth quarter because the game was in hand and watched it here. So the Niners did kind of didn't. I don't think they ran the score up, but they didn't exactly pull their starters through either. So that was the score of the game, 2-14. So a big win there for the Niners in week one. I watched the Bears game against the Buccaneers, their first game of the year, and you can see 30-9 right there. The defense coming up tough, coming up 3 field goals only. Michael Singletary with 4 tackles. A pass defended a fumble, one forced fumble in recovery. So Singletary comes up big. The box score here. DeBerg got the start. Steve Young came in at some point in the game. Went 3 for 9. A young Steve Young. Of course, he'd be traded over to the Niners in a couple of seasons. James Wilder. It's not a bad Bucs team. Got some names on there. Jimmy Giles over there. Steve Fuller got to start for the Bears. And I have to go look and see if he started the opening week in real life. But he goes 12 for 22, 259. So not a lot of yards for 12 completions. 1 TD, 1 pick. Peyton over 100 yards. Walter Payton, and you can see some big 64 yard reception to Peyton, 51 to Galt. So we got some big chunks right there for the Bears in this one. So let's kind of go over the rest of the games in week one. I liked in the previews. Detroit at Atlanta. Let's take a look at that game there. That's in Fulton County Stadium, back on grass, outdoors. The Falcons should always play outdoors. I did not get when they played in the Dome in Atlanta. But you can see they're a pretty close game, spread-wise. So let's see what happens here in this one. We'll auto-play it. And a close one, the Lions win 29-27. Gerald Riggs with a big day, but not enough, as the Lions go to 1-0. The Chargers at the Bills. This is a very bad Bills team. I grew up in upstate New York. Funny story. I went to see the Bills and Cowboys. Actually, that's 84, so forget that story. But 85 the Bills. The year before Jim Kelly arrived, they're pretty bad. They have some talent, though. Andre Reed's there. Bruce Smith is there, and so forth. So the Chargers win on 25-17. 4 field goals there by Bob Thomas. And the Chargers escape out of that one. They're pretty big underdogs. So Seahawks and Bengals, back when the Seahawks from the AFC. As you can see there, pretty close game, 1-point game. We got Dave Craig, Boomer Esiason, Collins for the young Bengal team. Let's see here. And the Seahawks with a big run there, 21-17. St. Louis Cardinals at the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland Stadium. That's a great looking field, by the way. I love the baseball diamond cut out there. Neil Lomax. The Browns are pretty big favorites. They're 8-point favorites. 85 Browns. I forgot to mention them in my 85 season too. They're a pretty intriguing team too. With their run they began 86-87 began this one here. So let's take a look. Cardinals at Browns, and the Browns win big. Bernie Kosar, his rookie year, throws a 234. Miami at Houston, defending AFC champion Dolphins. Dan Marino going to the Astrodome, and the Dolphins are big favorites in this one. Big favorites. And they win by 13. That's a push. Sorry, gamblers. Marino goes for 436, throws for 3 TDs. So Dan Marino on fire. Jets and Raiders. This is a good Jets team and a pretty good Raider team as well. It's a little fun game here out in LA Coliseum. And it's an even spread right there. Kenny O'Brien, Freeman McNeil, very underrated. I always love Freeman McNeil. You got Marcus Allen on their way there. Howie Long, Rod Martin. Pretty good game here to look at and see who can pull this one up. The Jets on the road, and they lose by 2 in a classic as Mark Wilson throws for 331 and 4 TDs in that one. Not too bad. Broncos go out to the Rams, and the Rams are kind of the team that my Niners, who I'm coaching, have to kind of worry about here. So the Rams are 3-point favorites as Denver comes in, a young Elway. So let's go Broncos. Let's kind of root for a Bronco win here. That will help out our chances in the NFC West. Let's take a look. And they don't get it done. 23-16 there for the Rams. Eagles at the Giants. A classic NFC showdown from the Meadowlands. I love that Meadowland logo there. Pretty cool. Lawrence Taylor. Giants are 4-point favorites in this one. Ron Jaworski is in there. I believe Randall Cunningham, I think he comes 85. It's pretty close, but I think he unseats Jaws in 85. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm off a year. And 31-3, the Giants are up and coming at this point. Phil Simms, 180 yards. They pound them, 31-3. Green Bay Packers at the Patriots. The Patriots Cinderella team that year got to the Super Bowl in 85 by shocking some teams. The Packers come to visit. Patriots are 11-point favorites. It's a bad Packer team. Lynn Dickey, James Lofton, though, is a great receiver. Let's take a look what happens here. Oh, more. And the Patriots get pounded 24-6. Mark Murphy, the big day on defense. So that's kind of surprising. Chiefs at the Saints in the Superdome. Let's take a look there. Chiefs 2-point favorites. Bill Kenny at quarterback. The Saints, who do they have? Ricky Jackson, a linebacker. Pretty good defense there. But Chiefs slight favorites in this one. Let's take a look what happens in the Dome. 17-10. The Chiefs with a win there. Colts at the Steelers in 1985. In Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh 7-point favorites. Lewis Lips, John Stallworth. Got Mike Webster there. The Steel Curtain kind of team from the 70s kind of hanging on a little bit there. Mike Pagel for the Colts. Not a very good Colts team. Let's see if they can go there and get an upset victory, though. Let's take a look. And they don't. The Steelers crush them 42-17. Frank Pollard goes for 125. So, Monday Night Football. Redskins and Cowboys. They opened a lot on Monday Night Football back in the 80s. Great rivalry. And Big D. Cowboys 2-point favorites. Remember, this kind of last year the Cowboys are a playoff contender before they go in that awful drought until they kind of get back in 1990 where they kind of contend for a playoff that don't make one. And of course, in 91, they start their playoff run and their dominance in the NFC. But this is kind of the last year, Tom Landry's last stand to be a competitive team. Let's see if they get a win here. And they get beat at home as Charles Mann with 2 sacks, fumble, 22-16 right there. So let's kind of look at the summary for the week. Dan Marino gets Offensive MVP. I thought Montana might get one, but he goes for 436. Big day for Marino. Gerald Riggs, Pollard, Wendell Tyler, Roger Craig, Walter Payton, Kurt Warner, not that Kurt Warner. The old Kurt Warner from Penn State, plays for the Seahawks, 100 yards rushing. Roger Craig with 12 catches. James Brooks, another great back who can catch the ball in the backfield. Andre Reed, his rookie year with 8 catches. Not too bad for Andre Reed there. The pass leaders, all those things. Receiving, interceptions. You got 3 guys with 2 interceptions. Dave Brown, Johnny Johnson, Elvis Patterson, Andre Tippett, and Julius Adams and Charles Mann with 2 sacks each. So pretty good game there with the standings. You can see AFC East, the Dolphins, the only team to win the AFC East. Pretty good there. Browns and Steelers. AFC West. Everyone wins but Denver. So Denver in a little bit of a hole early on in week 1. NFC East, you got Giants and Skins. NFC Central, the Bears got Detroit and Green Bay both won as well. NFC West, the class of the NFC West is really the Niners and the Rams. They're going to battle it out for that NFC West crown, and the Rams won that too. So that is week 1. Let me kind of preview week 2. We can look at for week 2 any big games here. Raiders and Chiefs 1-0. Patriots and Bears, a little preview of the real Super Bowl. We'll see that real quick. What kind of underdog world is that? The Patriots kind of got upset badly, and the Bears only 4-point favorites there. The Patriots were upset. Saints and Broncos, Cowboys and Detroit, Rams go to Philadelphia. Marino and the Colts square off. The Falcons go to San Fran. San Fran opens up their home schedule. Pittsburgh and Cleveland, both 1-0 battling out there. Minnesota and Tampa Bay. Minnesota trying to get back on their wagon here after that destroy job that happened to them earlier. That's a pick'em game. So the Vikings with some issues in Houston and Washington. So that is week 1 wrapped up. We'll come back and do week 2 in a few days. But thanks for watching. Definitely subscribe to my channel and share it along. And give me your feedback too. I'm kind of curious, those of you who play 2nd and 10 a lot, if you've seen a game like that Niner game of 62 points. I have not seen one like that. And I've been playing for a long time. College game, yes, you see it because college, you have a bigger disparity between the teams sometimes. But I've not seen that in the pros, especially back in the 80s. But, that happened. We'll see what happens in game 2. Their scores, though, pretty realistic stuff. I mean, some upsets, but most of the favorites won. So we'll kind of keep on playing it. A pretty cool season. We'll show you some games, too. I'm definitely going to play the San Fran-Chicago game when they play, I believe, in a few weeks. I'm going to play that game and record the whole game there. When the Bears play the Dolphins, that famous Monday night game, we're going to have that one on for sure. And maybe a few more, but we'll do the playoffs as well. We get there. We'll do some live or some recorded full playoff games as well. So thanks again for watching, and check out the rest of my channel. I've got 1951 baseball season. I'm playing it as well. I got one video up there of Mickey Mantle's debut. So check that one out. We'll get more coming soon, and we'll have a few more things. And I'm going to be doing a little Wolverine Studios review of their new pro basketball game that drops. Actually, record this. That the full version comes out tomorrow. I'm recording this on Wednesday night. On Thursday, and I'm going to go ahead and take a New York Knicks dynasty with fictional players, which I love to play the fictional players, and basically kind of run that franchise, and I may do a little video or two on that, so look for that as well. Wolverine Studios does a great job with their pro basketball games. So that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.